At the 2025 Ghana International Bank Converge Conference in London, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, delivered a striking message. His keynote title was Rethinking Commodity Finance for Growth, and it revealed a paradox. Ghana is Africa's top gold producer and among world's 10 largest, yet nearly all its gold is shipped abroad unrefined. This, he said, is costing the nation billions in lost revenue. Today, almost 100% of Ghana's gold leaves the country in raw form. Only a few refineries operate locally. The Royal Ghana Gold Refinery in Accra is a joint venture launched in the year 2024. It can handle about 400 kilograms of gold per day. The Gold Coast Refinery, built in the year 2016, processes roughly 180 tons per year, or about 480 kilograms daily. And the Sahara Royal Gold Refinery, opened in 2015, can process up to 600 kilograms a day across 3 shifts, and some small private mills add some capacity. But compared to Ghana's production, which is more than 110 tons in 2023, the local refining total is tiny. In practice, almost all Ghana's gold is exported as semi-processed or dory bars. The result is Ghana is missing out on higher export prices, industrial jobs, and supply chain transparency that refined gold brings. Dr. Mumuni's message was clear. This imbalance must change. With the right financing, such as loans or incentives, Ghana can build the infrastructure to refine most of its gold locally. The aim is to sell finished bullion or even jewelry, keeping more profits and jobs at home. According to the Vice President, refining at home allows the country to sell at the appropriate price, retain value, and create thousands of jobs. The Bank of Ghana's plan is ambitious. It includes boosting export revenues, strengthening foreign reserves, and positioning Ghana as a refining hub for West Africa. To support this vision, the central bank has launched bold gold-backed programs. The domestic gold purchasing program, started in 2021, buys gold directly from local miners.
Newmont Ghana has indicated its commitment to partnering the government to drive improvements in the country's economic programs. This follows successful sale of 3,500 ounces of gold to the Bank of Ghana in its first ever domestic gold purchasing program launched in June 2021.
In 2022, the Good for Oil initiative also began, using gold to pay for imported fuel. The credit for all this goes directly to the former Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
A major source of cedi depreciation has been the demand for foreign exchange to finance the import of oil products. In fact, our import of oil products is around $3 billion annually. Persistent cedi depreciation increases the cost of living with higher prices for fuel, transportation, utilities, food, and so on. Many governments, including ours, are facing a very difficult economic crisis that requires solutions that must come out of the box. How do we stop the depreciation? How do we stop the persistent increases in the prices of fuel and utility? We have been thinking about this long and hard. When you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the challenge that we face is a limited access to foreign exchange, as our foreign exchange reserves have depleted, and the demand has not fallen, but the demand has been relatively steady for that lower foreign exchange reserves. And so the demand exceeds the supply, and then you have depreciation. So the thinking that we said, okay, how do we get in more foreign exchange reserves for the country to be able to stem this gap between the demand and the supply? One of the things that occurred to us and to me was, why aren't we able to accumulate reserves in terms of gold? We have focused on accumulating reserves over the years in terms of US dollars and other currencies. But gold is a foreign exchange reserve. And the unique feature of gold is that we are endowed with gold. We produce gold in Ghana. which means you don't have to export gold to earn that foreign exchange. You have to export cocoa, you have to export timber and other goods, foods and so on, to earn the foreign exchange. With gold, immediately you dig it up, it is foreign exchange. Yeah, so you are essentially digging up foreign exchange. So I said, let me check how much gold we have accumulated in Ghana thus far. And when you look at the data between independence and 2021, we had accumulated just 8 tons of gold. 8 tons. We are one of the largest gold-producing countries in the world. But we had accumulated 8 tons. When I looked at the United States, they have over 8,000 tons. The IMF, many other countries in Europe are dealing with gold reserves of over 2,000 tons. And we have 8 tons of gold. We proceeded to say the Bank of Ghana, we suggested to the central bank to begin a gold purchase program, systematically to build up our reserves in gold. And the gold program started last year, and it is proceeding quite well. But to address this fundamental challenge that we all face of the persistent depreciation and its impact on fuel, in utility prices, food, and so on, government has opted to implement a policy of using our gold to buy oil products. That is something new, and it is the barter of sustainably mined gold for oil. And this is one of the most important economic policy changes in Ghana since independence.
These measures transform Ghana's reserves. In 2021, the Bank of Ghana held just 8.7 tons of gold. By 2025, that number had risen to over 34 tons. In total, the bank has purchased about 146 tons of gold, sold roughly 87 tons to raise foreign currency, and used over 27 tons to pay for nearly 2 million tons of petroleum. Officials credit this with stabilizing the cedi, improving investor confidence, and even helping Ghana's credit rating. Other countries have shown how strategic refining can reshape an economy. Switzerland processes up to 70% of the world's gold each year, exporting billions of dollars worth of bullion. China is the world's largest gold consumer, refines most of its output domestically, capturing value and growing its reserves. And Dubai in the UAE has become a top global gold trading hub, with gold making up to a fifth of its non-oil exports. Ghana's leadership wants to follow these examples, becoming a regional hub for refining. This could mean processing gold from neighboring countries, just as Ghana has already discussed doing for cocoa. By refining traceable, certified bullion, the country could tap into rising demand for responsibly sourced gold and attract more investments. The path forward is not without obstacle. Attracting investors for new refinery will require proof that they can operate profitably. Winning the trust of small-scale miners is also a key, as they provide about a third of Ghana's gold. Clear, transparent buying rules will be essential. International certification is another headache. To sell into major markets like London or New York, Ghanaian refineries must meet strict standards such as LBMA accreditation and responsible sourcing certification. For Dr. Mumuni, this is more than refining gold. It's about economic sovereignty. By moving up the value chain from exporting raw resources to selling finished products, Ghana can keep more of the wealth it digs from its soil. If the strategy succeeds, the country could transform itself into the gold refining hub in West Africa or Africa at large, creating jobs, earning higher revenue, and securing its place in the global gold market. And that is all for today's episode. Please let us know your thoughts and suggestions on this in the comment section below. My name is Sharif Haruna. Thank you very much for watching. Have a joyful life and see you in the next one. Macrao.